This conference will now be recorded.
Because today we discuss about the Ansible configuration file only, and this is a short kind of information, but we must know what is
शमीम
what.
डस्ट नहीं दिख रहा है.
Okay, so let me share my screen first. You can see it, right?
हाँ अभी लोडिंग है.
Okay, good. So Ansible configuration file basically okay. So you can see my screen, and it's something. This is the command, you can get it, but I'm not able to find this key in my keyboard. What is that, and how can I find it? So I not tried this because
विंडोज में 6 के ऊपर आता है, मैक में पता नहीं, लेकिन वो
Mac में
स्टैंडर्ड की है, आपका कीबोर्ड में होना चाहिए.
okay 6 के पास में ही है. Okay, you are right. Thank you. So let me check if I can pull this, and it's saying it should be in another user. It's not a user on the root, right? You can see that command, right? Okay. So already logged in my Linux machine with my normal user account, and let me run this command. So this is grep space comma slash space slash etc ansible slash ansible.cfg. So by default, it's not working. Why? Because we not defined any Ansible file with the user account with this user account.
No,
But
no, no,
I
no, no.
can
Shimim, 1 minute. Ansible spelling is wrong in your command. Check it out.
maybe a typo error.
Hmm.
Okay. So guys, these are the features. It must be inside the configuration file. For any user, you giving a suppose I am admin, and I have 3 more engineers in DevOps team, and they have to run some task with their account. They're not going to use my account to log in and push the commands to any other node. So this is how they need to write it. So that's why I I was thinking about it, and I thought we need to discuss about it first before going further. So this is the command grep and mention here, you can see. By default, you have to mention inventory, you have to mention, you have to privilege escalation, you have to mention. From eco connection, you need to mention SSH connection if you want. You can get, so this is the basic thing of the configuration file. Persistent connection if you want to define it. Accelerate, Linux, colors, you can change the colors also. Even suppose whatever showing is a white, I can if you type and you can change this, so it will show you the colors accordingly, right? So let's discuss about what is default, what is inventory, what is privilege escalation, paramico connection, SSH connection, persistent connection, escalate, Linux, colors different, whatever it is. Okay, so let me go to my notes actually. Go to blog. Move off most of the setting in the configuration file are grouped under the default X section. You can see it here, right? The most of the setting in the configuration are. So let me show you something. Last time I just write a file over here, vim dot ansible.cfg. You can see that. So what is he defining here? You can see the default one. You can see my screen, right? Default. So this is how you or any user who is not a root account. So let me clear one more thing before going here. Let me log out from here. Now I'm in a root account. Okay, clear. And now my current Ansible hyphen version this. So where is my Ansible default file? I have to edit this. vi slash etc slash Ansible slash ansible.cfg. I have to spelling is right. Okay. Let me go to the insert mode. What we can see here. Config file for the Ansible HTTP dot. This is giving a lot of comments over here, but they started with the defaults. So first we need to mention this in any configuration file which or any user going to write it. You can add a comment. What are the basic default values? You have to write it here. So inventory. So by default, if I am in a root account where I install the Ansible, it will come automatically. You don't need to do anything with the configuration file. So this is the inventory, and you can give the path of your inventory file. So I'm giving this. You can change, and by default is something else. Library, utilize remote, local fork, sudo, whatever it is you want to enable. Port 22, it will communicate it by default. Right. If I come to the down, can you specify whatever is mentioned here? And next one is default is a very big file actually. They mention a lot of things. Plugins. And what next? So these are the mentioned in the defaults. Now they started inventory. Inventory you can write it separately as per. You join it again. Host list script YAML enable plugins. Okay. You can see the connection privilege escalation become true. You can see that screen. Okay.
Shamim, if you want to undo something, you can just press escape and U. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you can see here privilege escalation become true method sudo. So these terms we need to know. This is by default is showing a command. If you want to enable it, you can just remove the hash. Everybody knows it. So this is the by default one Ansible have, right? And you can also configure the SSH connection. Let me come to the SSH connection. The cursor is here. You can define also here. But in Ansible, if you have a root account or an admin account, it's already, you can see it. Next one is the, let me go down, persistent connection. Configure the persistent connection timeout value in second. This value is how long the persistent connection will be remain idle before it is destroyed. If the connection does not receive a request before the timeout value expire, then a connection is shut down. The default value is 30 seconds. Connection timeout 30 seconds. Okay. Configure the persistent connection retry timeout. This is where you configure the. Okay. So this is something you must know every terms about the configuration file. Accelerate port. This is something port is open. You need to open it. You can remove the hash. Timeout. Okay. Selenex file system that requires special treatment when dealing with security context. The default behavior that copies the existing context or the user default needs to be changed to use the file system dependent context. Special context underscore context file system to NFS, VBOSX, FUSE, RMFS, and 9P. So set this value allow to label underscore Alexis connection to work without Selenium Annex. Amar, are you there?
Yes, Shamim, I'm there.
So what it means, Selenax in here? Anything you can just give your ideas
Uh,
about it?
uh, yeah, sure. Yes. SC Linux is the secure enhanced Linux.
So it's kind of we
Okay.
sharing.
It's a kind of actually security implemented on Linux, more secure way actually.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that is main concept of SC Linux actually.
Okay. So the next one is colors. You can see here. You can change the colors if you
And
want. Highlight.
let me just add to Amar. See, Windows and all those things have antivirus, right? So SE
Okay.
Linux is like you're setting up your Linux so that nobody can attack or
Okay.
any virus can attack. So that is what SE Linux is. Am I right, Amar?
Hello.
Am I
Yamar,
right,
your
Amar?
voice is breaking.
It's okay now?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
No. It's not actually like an antivirus.
Okay.
Even it is not like an firewall also. But
Okay.
the thing is, it acts especially on files or commands, which are very sensitive commands will be there, right? And
Okay.
sensitive way of working it, it can restrict more further, I can say. Linux has its own
Okay.
security, and if you implement SC Linux, it will be more secure. So I can
Okay.
say
Okay.
one more wall actually.
Okay. So you can change the color also. You can see white. So this is how Ansible. I mean, the configuration file is working. Defer always print DFF when running. Same as always running with date and difference always now. Set how many context line to be shown different. Okay. So this is the end of this file actually. Okay. So let me quit from here and come to the another screen. What the heck is this? Okay. So let me switch my normal user, which is Shamim, and this command. So what we seen default inventory, privilege escalation, Paramiko connection, SSH connection, persistent connection, accelerate, CLANX, color and difference. So these are the basic requirement to write a configuration file in with any other user account. And this is what we tried recently. So you can create a file named dot ansible.cfg. Dot basically it can be a hidden file or using a temporary and this must be for this is not the same file which Ansible is using. So let me open it. So this is what we last time used this inventory file, this configuration file to run some task. So we default we mention inventory, remote users, and give the privilege escalation to become yes, become underscore user to root user. If anyone anything we want to add here, SSH connection, accelerate, so we can add it here also. So Omar, I hope it's clear now.
Yes, Shaman.
So this is what I had actually never focus on this area.
Did you
So
understand the command, rep command?
which command? Can you speak louder a little bit? Your voice is.
Did you understand the grep command?
Yeah, you can explain it if you want.
So
You know,
when there is some command at in output actually, right?
what it mean?
Continue. I'll just explain when the time comes. Continue, continue. I don't want to break you. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So we are here actually. So most of the setting in the configuration file are grouped under the default section. The privilege escalation section contains setting for defining how operation which require escalating privilege will be executed on managed host. The Primico connection, SSH connection, and accelerate section contains setting for optimizing connections to managed host. So this is very important, guys. You must understand this paragraph. Okay. And the Linux section contains setting for defining how Linux interaction will be configured. Will not include in the default global Ansible configuration file. So the big file which I shows you in this is called basically global Ansible configuration file, which comes with the default. If you anything modified you can create with another user, you have to write it this way, as the example I shown you. So Ansible package already installed. Galaxy section is also available for defining parameters related to Ansible Galaxy, which is they're saying we will discuss later. So maybe if we completed, we continue this class, Ansible one. So setting are customized by changing their values in the currently active configuration file and take effect as soon as the file is saved. Some settings are predefined within Ansible with default values, and these values are valid even if their prospective settings are commented out in the configuration file. This is what actually I showed you in the global configuration file. Okay. So Ansible setting and descriptions. What is inventory? Location of the Ansible inventory file. Remote user. What remote user? The remote user account used to establish connection to manage host. So let me go to my window. So you can see here, I mention M Shamim user. But where is this user? This is the same account. M Shamim, I'm here, Who am I? This command is right or who am I? Which command is Amar?
To AMI.
Okay, M Shamim. So I am here also. I'm in the Ansible server and the same. Let me SSH server 1. This is my host. Let it connect first. Okay, I think server 1 is down. So let me SSH server 11. Okay. You got my point, right?
Yeah, you should
So
have
we
the
have to
same user on all servers.
yeah, so we have to define this file in the configuration file. Where's that? Okay, so I'm a wrong server actually. I have to log out from here. And so I am on the Ansible where Ansible is installed, but in the client Ansible is not installed. So whenever you're creating a configuration file, it should be on that server where Ansible is installed and from where you're going to manage another servers. Right? So that's why I mentioned here Shamim account. Privilege escalation become yes, become underscore user is equal to root. So something if I have to I'm going to install any package to using this Shamim account to another node where root account is not permitted or root password is required. So I also become underscore user is equal to root. If you mention this, it means Shamim is going to act like as a root. I'm right, Amar?
Yep.
Okay. So let me quit. We don't want to change anything. So I hope now you're able to understand the configuration file and okay, become user. So let's little bit talk about the theory part. Um, remote user account used to simple connection to manage host. Okay, become what become do become is equal to yes, which mentioned there. Enable or disable privilege escalation for operation on managed host. Yes, most of the time if we going to apply some operation, to become is equal to yes. Become method define the privilege selection method or managed host. Become user the user account to escalate privilege to on managed host. So these need to be defined. Become ask underscore pass define whether privilege escalation on managed host should prompt or for a password. So if we do this, it will prompt for a password. Okay. Now you're giving some demonstration over here. How to write this file. So number two, I'm trying to go to the number two. So you can see the by default one Ansible version. It will show you the file is here. And what is showing here actually? You can see that etc Ansible. Let me go to the server for the clear, better understanding. Okay, so I'm on this server. Let me. Okay, so we are with the logon is normal user account, which I am logging here. I'm Shamir. So let me try to edit this file, config file. Okay, so let me vi slash etc slash ansible slash ansible dot cfg. So what are you seeing here? The default one. You can see my screen.
Yes, Shaman.
Which file I can see here? Let me go to the insert mode or drop down.
No, the file is read only. Check out the bottom line actually.
Yes, you're not able to change anything over here because you don't have a root password or
Shamim, this is a global scope file actually. This is a global
yes,
file, and you
yeah.
have your own configuration in your user account level. That is a local
Yeah.
scope.
Hmm. So that's why we need to create a configuration file sometimes. So this is the parameter we have to use, which I already shown you. Persistent connection, and SSH connection. Paramico privilege escalation is very important. Either rest of you're not going to use, you can use a default and privilege escalation and SSH connection. That is fine. You will able to perform the action. Inventory you have to mention first. So first you have to put default, and in default you can actually put all these things like inventory file and all. This is a very big file actually. Lot of things you mentioned here. You can see here, right? Default and some basic defaults. So Okay, guys. So you're not able to edit this. So let me come to the number 2 point. It's saying open ATS Ansible file and examine the different section and their setting. On the default section, locate and examine the inventory setting also. Examine the setting in the previous section. So let me come down a little bit. Privilege escalation become true, become method equal to sudo, become user account to root, become ask password false. It will not ask any password. Come to the next page, 34. So what they did here is they just create a user level Ansible configuration file. So whatever I'm doing here, this is the user level configuration file. It's not a global file. I'm repeating it again and again so you can understand this. This is what it mentioned here. Create a user level Ansible configuration file wherever the location is, or you can directly on the root side. I mean the home directory, and then re-verify the active Ansible configuration file. This is the basic command of it. Mac directory, date configuration file, cd, Ansible version. Okay. So this is the command. I'm not going to touch this. List. Okay, let me check this. Ansible hyphen. So this is not applicable here actually. This is for something else. They have running this command for the. So basically it will show you the inventory file. Actually I'm trying to show you, but how can I check the inventory file? What is the command? Anybody remember how to show the inventory file?
You mean to say at Linux level or from Ansible?
Ansible level. No idea. Let open the notes. No worries.
Not remember, man.
So I have an inventory file name invent_s actually. So I have to use this command. Okay. This is how you can check your inventory file and what is the host name mentioned over there. Okay, guys, so try to write a configuration file with some other user account and try to push some commands if you want. This is the task 2. I think we already shared with you guys. If you're doing it, that's fine. Otherwise, so anybody practicing the same which we are, going through it? Anybody practicing it?
I'm doing Shimon,
Rest of
but
any
not in
guys?
exact. I'm not exactly order, an order, but a bit different. Either of
Yeah,
the
that's fine. Aslam, Rajesh.
Shamim, I'm just started it because I had some issue on virtual MEM, so I fixed it yesterday. So I am starting.
Virtual lab. If you have any issue with your virtual lab, directly contact me. I will tell you how to fix this in a better
Okay, okay,
way. And just try to register with the Linux, sorry, Red Hat one
okay.
account. If you're using Red Hat account, right? So let me show you one thing. Suppose this is my machine, and I have to use subscription manager and type here register. So my all the machine is registered with my account. It's saying this system is already registered. Use post to override. So whatever repo, any update is required, right? Yum update -y. Red Hat provide me directly. I don't know to not need to worry about this. Suppose Microsoft patches you're downloading and it comes anytime you want to install, it will give you because so this kind of a lab I'm creating because it's work like enterprise one. I have a Red Hat Linux enterprise one installed in my all the server client one also I'm using the same. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys understand the configuration file. This is what I need to clear it first. Actually, I just gone through it and I just find it. This is what we need to discuss actually. I never discussed this before. So this is the second step is make directory whatever the inventory file. Okay, you're giving the information. So if you practice this, whenever you see the things, this is you easily understand it. What's going on here? You can easily understand it. So this is how it's going to manage. Activating and configuring privilege escalation. What by adding the appropriate setting under the privilege escalation section, what it does, it is showing here. Now above one, what it shows, let me go up a little bit. Let me give you an overview actually. So somebody default while creating, let me go to here, my lab, iPhone space M Shamim and show you my Ansible file. You can see it here, right guys? This one, insert mode. So default, what defaults do? You must know this. Default in default section here. Let me little bit scroll it. Okay. Inventory is equal to /home user account and they give the path where is your inventory file is. This is what we have to define inside the default. Next, In the directory level, this is showing blah blah blah. Create a MySQL host group. Okay, launch internet web host group. Create server lab. Inventory lab is basically they're talking about the inventory list. So invent s have I showed you the previous command. What is the server name? Server one and server 11 is invent s file is what it mentioned, and the path I giving you here under the default, right? Next. Next, you're saying in non-create the inventory lab load group. Okay, so you have to. This is still talking about inventory file. Okay, let me go to the next page. 37, number 4. Okay, so this is the command basically you have to use to see the all inventory file list. Now another section is number 5. Activate and configure privilege escalation by adding the appropriate setting under the privilege escalation. This you can see it here. Privilege escalation all the time. Do not anything is failing or if anything you get going to miss it, it will not work. So you have to use this bracket and privilege. What we have to do, enable privilege escalation by adding the become setting and configuring is that true. So become is equal to yes. So you can also write it here true. Set the privilege escalation to use sudo by adding the become underscore method. Somebody saying I'm not audible. Guys, now I'm audible.
To me, it's good.
Yes, sir. Yes, Shamim, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I think Nila is not able to hear me. Nila, I'm audible now. Because first I have to say you all happy Dashera. I just forgot it.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, let's go to the privilege escalation. So this is how we have to define it here. And set the privilege escalation to use sudo by adding the become method. So let me edit this file. Okay, I already did it. Become underscore method is equal to sudo and save it. Now come little bit down. Set the privilege escalation user to adding become user setting and configuration to as a root. So become underscore user is equal to root is already mentioned here. Enable password prompting during privilege escalation by adding the become ask pass setting and configure is at true. So if I set this true, Amar, I need your input over here little bit. What happen if I do this?
Enable password prompting during the privilege escalation by adding.
It will prompt asking for a password, right?
I think so. We need to test it, Shamim. Actually, what parameter it is exactly, how exactly it
Okay.
works.
So let me give it false.
So instead of giving false, let's avoid it, na?
About it?
Avoid it. No need of typing it.
Okay. There is no control that is not working. Okay. So this is how you can write configuration file. Next, I'm coming with verify the new changes. Okay, list host opinion, blah blah blah. Okay, leave it. The computer down. And whatever they use it for that particular task, they are mentioning it. So we're using that. So let me go to the 39 page. So guys, this is what you must write this. Try to write it, and then use any ad hoc command to perform the task. So I'm not going to show you anything, but I can what show you to ping command, right? So let me escape from here and let me run a ping command. Anybody tell me any ping command over here? This is what we have in inventory file, server 1, server 11. So server 1 is maybe down, and let me ping my all the servers.
Ansible -m or sing.
That's it.
Server one should be down.
Server 1 is unreachable because server 1 is down actually. Uh, Let me start those also. We got it right. So we have a coming success on these two servers. Okay, if we are here, let's do some task so we can install anything using this. Last time we did use this command, ask become pass also. So let me do directly here Ansible 14 number task. This is ad hoc command and I have to use this to run some task. Okay. Let me go to the server and type this command ansible all -m yum sorry ansible all -m space yum -a name is equal to samba state is equal to installed dot comma close inventory file we have to choose invent space user I have to mention and Shamim become space hyphen So let it run for this one, and what is the result we have to see. This is failed actually. Why? So it's required a password actually, and so we have to add one more step. Ask beacon pass. That's my password. So I'm giving my normal account password. Cisco German. What is the password is? Look out. So something wrong in the command, I guess.
Like the state spelling.
Yeah, some spelling is mistake. Maybe.
State.
Ah, that's why it's giving the syntax error or what? Without error, we can never learn. So it's aborted because on these two machines, server 11, Samba is already installed. So this is not needed. Okay. We can also remove this, right? Instead, we have to remove. That's it. We have to mention over here, right, Amar?
State, not state. Remove actually. State, I think it is a Boolean value.
Mm-hmm.
Install. Okay, let's try.
Okay,
Absent.
so remove. It's need
Absent
a remove.
present. That's what.
So we have to use
Remove.
instead absent.
Remove the keyword remove and replace with absent.
So Ansible also telling us what we have to use actually.
Even it's showing as removed.
Yes, remove is also an option.
Shimim, I think ask become pass. Okay, the keyword. The main purpose of this keyword is you have a password for your account, right? Shimim.
Hmm. Yep.
So it means that the same password is applicable to all the users in all missions.
But we have not mentioned this in the configuration file. That's why we're using it here.
Not mention it, and this since it is an ad hoc command, we have to mention it. Even configuration also, I think it is required, maybe required to mention.
Okay.
So the main purpose is, say, suppose Shemim has a password. The same password will be applied while it is applying while the configuration is running on client missions. That's exactly the meaning of that.
Okay. So Rajesh, you able to understand it because you are the only guy who left here. Rajesh. So this is successfully removing from one server 11.
Shemim, I want to give a small tip actually to understand. In Ansible, when it is giving in orange or yellow color output,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah.
it means that the output, the command has successfully executed.
Okay.
So if there is no command like black color or something, it clearly shows that the command was not executed. It is successful, but there is no need to change anything.
Okay.
So
So what it means?
black color comes into picture when I want to install a software which was already installed.
Okay. Okay.
There is no action need to be taken in that case,
Okay. That's great.
right? That time it shows as black, and if there is no software and it is installing by Ansible, then
Mm.
success text will mean orange color or yellow color, whatever the color is.
Okay.
Because some console shows yellow, some console shows orange.
Rajesh, do you have any question over here? Rajesh, Mr. Rajesh, seems to be offline or online. Is connected to audio. Okay. So what we did, we just perform a task using a normal account, writing a configuration file, and we are already installed the Samba, and we now removed it from the server 1 and server 11. Okay, Mar, I think that's it. What I need to discuss actually, I mean, before I was also confused about the Ansible, configuration file a little bit. So I think it will help us to understand this. Okay. Next, I mean, tomorrow, this is the ad hoc command actually, which we already done a lot of tasks. And what's the time is going on now? 11:26.
11:26.
So we have another half an hour, right? Um, so again, I come here, so I feel we still need to work on the uh, YAML thing. So we are here basically. So we need to understand this actually. Four extras, 71, 73. This is still a doc command. Yep. So you can see here, right? Amar, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Okay. So in this way, you will perform administrative tasks on remote system using Ansible module outcomes. With Ansible ad hoc commands, use modules to perform remote operation on managed host. So we already did this. I mean, I think let me go to the next. I was trying to find a YAML thing, but Ansible.cfg, which is the same thing. Ansible -, grep a1w you remote user. Okay. This is what we discuss with the normal account. This is saying to use a root account to do this. And through the escalation, become fires, method sudo root. So become ask underscore pass. If we add this and is equal to false, it will not ask the password, I guess. Can I try it, Amar? This task?
No. The concept is not asking the password or not asking the password. The concept
Okay.
is the password should be same for all the servers for your account.
Okay.
So suppose server 0 has some XYZ password. The
Hmm.
same password should be there in server 1 and server 11 also,
For the same account, right?
for your same account.
Yeah. This is what Ansible use actually.
Okay, yeah.
This is clearly mentioned. A privilege escalation is disabled if enabled. The privilege escalation would occur using sudo with root account with no password prompting. Okay. This is how it's going to ping. So I think we are clear over here, and what it's every bar time I can see the Reddit also installing the HTTPD only. They don't have any other software to install it. It's the other doc commands.
Because it is very easy to install actually,
Okay.
not much dependent.
So playbook and ad hoc Ansible modules can be used to perform operation and manage the house using simple ad hoc command. While usually simple operation ad hoc commands are not suited for the challenge of complex configuration and orchestration of scenario. That's why we have to use a playbook. So we did write a playbook last time, and so this is the become method become user player. So this is the task actually we need to discuss. So tomorrow, Amar, what we're going to do? I think today is enough for uh, this is. So tomorrow again we're not going to do any big task, but we'll try to do something some write a playbook.
Tomorrow we'll do one thing. We'll study more on configuration file actually,
Oh
because
really?
the thing is any configuration management tools, maybe Puppet or Ansible or Chef, whatever it is. If we understand the terminology very well, if we are able to do the configuration very well, initial stages, then we can
Okay.
lock the future. That's what I think about, because even Puppet or Ansible or whatever it is, if I know the Puppet terminology and Puppet configuration file, how to define the agent or how to give whatever it is, then I can do very well. So tomorrow
Okay.
we'll do one thing. We'll study on the configuration file a bit more in depth, and
Yeah,
we'll discuss a
I think
bit about.
we should start it here from here only because what we finished here, otherwise we have to follow some set of things. So we following this book, that's fine.
Yes,
Because and after that playbook we need to discuss variable and inclusion. This is also very important. So if I ever get a time, so if we can tomorrow you have all the office right in 6:30 am or we coming
tomorrow
back on.
morning I'll start at 6:30 and reach home 10 p.m.
Man, this is too much. Doing a
See, the
double
thing
shift.
is, yeah, 3.5 hours to 4 hours will be traveling only.
Okay. So you must sleep, man. I think.
Absolutely.
Hmm. Nila, any question? If you want, I can explain you again. Nila is still not able to listen us.
Okay, Shimim. Okay, that's actually good.
Okay, guys. Good night. So I hope
Yeah,
you know. Okay, tomorrow we'll again go with this task, and we will write in the playbook style. Some we write these configuration things in the playbook, right? This is also the same thing, right? Or this is the task.
that is a task.
Okay.
So
Okay, we'll discuss that.
we need to understand what is a task. Then we
Okay.
can easily write it.
Yeah, that's why we're getting a problem to writing things, and our command is not running. So this is that's why. Okay, okay, leave it. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Shimim. Thanks all. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Take care. Good.